Hey guys, welcome back to one of my videos. Today we're going to be talking about the new patch that just released today on 4.16, patch 1.1.1. We are going to talk about some legend balances, some gun balances, and some overall just quality of life. So let's go ahead and let's just hop into it. As you can see here from the beginning, I'll leave this up if you guys want to go ahead and read all of this, but they're just kind of talking about what they refer to as the thick boys. Um, so they add Pathfinder in there, and I think that's just because before the last patch, his hitbox was a little bit busted. But it seems like down below they're going to be talking more about Gibraltar and Caustic in this case. So they're always looking to fix some blah blah blah. That's all good. So let's go ahead and get to the legend balances here. So what they ended up doing in this patch is they actually added this fortified passive perk. What this does is it reduces damage taken by 10%. The easiest way to think about this is for every 100 damage that would normally be done to other champions, you'll only be doing 90. And this is only for Caustic and Gibraltar. So I think this fortified perk is definitely a step in the right direction. Going off since they're the same, I don't know if this will be enough for Gibraltar. I definitely feel like the hitbox on Gibraltar is just a little crazy. But we'll see where it can take us. Going back up to Caustic here. We have the gas damage tick increased to 4, which is pretty massive. All you bunker droppers will enjoy that. And then the ultimate throw distance was increased, which I think is a good buff as well. The few times that I've played Caustic, he just feels really clunky. Especially with that ultimate throw. It just feels like, I mean, how far you can throw normal grenades, I feel like that's how far you should be able to throw the ult, but maybe that's just my opinion. As I said, Gibraltar was also added to the fortified passive perk. I think this reduction will need to be increased to maybe 15, probably like 15%. I think would be pretty good for Gibraltar. He's a little bit more thick than Caustic, so I think that'll definitely be good. And then the gun shield health increased to 75. I think that's pretty good. The time that it takes after the shield is destroyed to get back up, and the amount of health that it has. Maybe these two combined will be enough with the 10%. I'm not sure. We'll have to play around and test with it. Maybe I'll have some Gibraltar gameplay and go a little bit more in depth with it. Next, we move on to weapon balancing. So it seems like they definitely want to increase the power of long range gameplay, which I think is great. This game is so mobile, and it's really fun to play the close range, but the amount of times that you find some of the longer range weapons, you feel almost useless with them. So this will mostly touch on like some of the snipers. So we'll start off with the DMRs that they have. The G7 Scout triple take a longbow. The leg shot damage reduction is down to 10%. I actually didn't even know that there was a damage reduction. If there is on ARs or pistols or anything, I have no idea what this number is. So the fact that it's decreased is good. That means you'll be doing more damage, even if you can't hit your upper body shots or headshots. This is the biggest one for me. This weapon sway is down a third. So this is whenever you're sitting still, aim down sights, the weapon will go back and forth. This one will be pretty nice to not have to deal with. You put on these long scopes with this long gun, and then you're not able to hit your shots because the weapon's swaying back and forth. And then the sway speed is reduced by 25% as well. So it's not going as far left and right. That's down to a third, and it's not swaying as fast as it is. I think that's pretty good changes. Next, we'll go ahead and talk about the longbow DMR here. So they actually ended up increasing the fire rate, and I'll kind of touch on what this longbow will kind of end up being, in my opinion. Increase the magazine size for all of the extended mags. So that means you're starting off with 6 rounds, and then it goes up to 8, 12, or 8, 10, and then 12 with the epic extended mag, which is the purple one. So it's more in line with what the wingman is right now. Next, they touch on the havoc. I think this is a great change right here. So they actually increased the base magazine size to 32. Perfect. The only problem will be if you only find like one magazine, maybe you'll be a little bit more spray with it, so you'll lose the energy ammo. I think energy ammo could still, once maybe another weapon comes into play, I think it'll be at a good state where you're actually able to find people that have it. But the havoc is a great weapon already, so this buff will make it probably more in tune with everything else. The charge beam, not really a huge fan of. Will probably still opt for the turbocharger. But the cost per shots is down just to make that in line with the 32. 5 doesn't go into 32, so they changed it to 4. They increased the close range damage to 60, so it's a little bit more like an actual sniper, which is what it's supposed to be with that charge beam. Increase the damage at range to 50, which again is fine. The damage fall off is increased to 75 meters, which is pretty decent distance, so you won't be seeing too insane damage fall off for a while. It's almost double what it is now, so any of you guys who use the charge beam regularly will like this change. And then the range damage fall off is increased to 125. So this is the one that I am heartbroken about, because this gun was my favorite, man. The wingman nerf here. They ended up doing was reducing the magazine size. So the base magazine, I understand why. I kind of wish they'd keep it at 6. I feel like it makes it feel more like a revolver. 4 rounds is just a little bit. It feels a little bit wonky. I think their whole thought process behind it is since they didn't want to reduce the damage, it's doing 45 shots per round. With 4 rounds, you're not going to be able to use 1 magazine and take someone down from 200 HP. You'll have to reload and do that. So for gameplay wise, it makes sense. And then they just kind of reduced everything by 2 otherwise. So it goes to 6, 8, and then 10 rounds. Like I said, kind of sad to see the base magazine reduced. I think I would have liked to see these extended, but I can kind of see why they did it. Sad. Rip for wingman. Going into the Spitfire next, we have reduced the base damage from 20 to 18. I think this is good. The Spitfire is really overpowering at this point. And then they do the same thing. So it looks like they're messing around with all the magazine extenders on the heavy weapons. So they buffed the longbow, and then they reduced that for the Spitfire and the wingman. This is down from 40 to 45 to 55. That's fine. 60 rounds in 1 magazine was a little much. 5 rounds, probably you won't see too much of a difference in an epic. Like they also have a spelling mistake here, but that's fine. And then finally, some of the best changes in this patch are to the gold weapons. So the gold Havoc now comes with the turbocharger. Thank God. So picking up the gold Havoc is actually super useful now. And then it comes with the 1x and 2x variable hollow sight. I'm not sure which sight it had before, but a 1 and 2x sight is fine by me. The gold 301 now comes with the 1 and 2x, which is good. I think it had like the 2 and 4x, which was a little excessive. And then the wingman finally comes with the digital threat. So a golden wingman is super good now, because since you'll get those extended mads, you'll have a digital threat and you'll have the skull piercer. Great stuff, great stuff. So real quick before I move on into the patch, I just want to go ahead and talk about how I think the meta will change. So what I see here is with the buffs to the longbow, with all the buffs taken here to all the snipers, but then specifically the increased fire rate and the mag size, I think the longbow will be picked up by those who can hit their shots a lot more now. You'll be able to use the longbow more like a wingman. Close range, it probably won't be as effective because you can't shoot it as fast, but you can definitely shoot it a lot faster. The longbow fire rate increase is huge. It felt kind of wonky to use, so I hope this puts this more in line with what I feel like. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about using the longbow. I always felt like I wanted to shoot before it was ready, even though I thought it was ready. So probably this at this point, 4 reduction will be pretty good. But I think the longbow will be picked up a lot more. And then I'll probably try picking up the G7 Scout as well, a little bit more with these reductions and increased in damage. Moving on, the biggest complaint that a lot of people had about the Battle Pass is how long it takes to level up. So in honor of the Thick Boy buffs, they're going ahead and they're running a bonus Battle Pass XP event. So from today, tomorrow, and 4/18, which I think is, what is that, Thursday, your first top 5 of the day will grant you 1 whole Battle Pass level. So that's a whole 29,500 Battle Pass points. I guess that's what that stands for. I don't know if they'll just do a level. I hope they don't cap it where it's like if you're like 10,000 XP away, they'll give you 10,000. That's it. I hope they just give you 29,500 XP, and then wherever you are in the next level, that's where you'll stay. That'll be pretty nice. Obviously, this only goes up to the max level 110, but it seems good for me. Finally, the changes that are just kind of in line with this, which is a quality of life. I look at this as like quality of life buff. They have the jump ship speed. The speed of the ship is increased to 50%, which I think is pretty good. So for all you late droppers or safe droppers, you're not sitting in the ship for what feels like half the match. It definitely will help. I wonder if it'll become more meta to wait on drops. If you're still going like Skull Town, but it's farther away or something, to wait on the drop since the ship moves a lot faster. I don't know if the speed increase will put it in line with how people decrease or how people increase their speed as they're diving down. That'll just need some testing, and then some bug fixes. Wrong percentage was displayed for all boost badge, so just one bug fix, it seems like. But that's the patch. That's everything. I think the wingman nerf sucks. I love using the wingman. I'm sure all of you who hate it And probably for competitive, like, integrity, the wingman buff is probably good. Like I said, it makes sense why they drop it down to 4, but it still kind of sucks. But they buffed the gold with giving it the digital threat, which is what I think it should have had in the first place. The Havoc mag increase it will be pretty good. It will be pretty fun to use, and the fact that the golden one comes with turbocharger is amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and do a lot of testing with the longbow, and see if this fire rate increase makes it more in tune with everything else. And then obviously these reductions and this leg shot damage is pretty big for the snipers, so I think it'll make the snipers a little bit more usable. We'll see. I think this will actually cause a little bit of a mix-up in the meta, but I think you'll still see the Spitfire a ton. I think you'll still see the wingman a decent amount. It doesn't seem too hard to find the common mag, so it'll be just kind of more in line with where it probably should be. But that's the patch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if this is a good patch or bad patch, or what changes you're most excited for. I'll go ahead and try and get some gameplay with the longbow DMR and let you guys know how good it is. All right, talk to you later. Peace.